you've been listening to us for the past many episodes, we recently did an episode on the origin of country names. You, our dear listeners, some of you wrote into us, and one particular avid listener who goes by the name of Sushil requested if we could do a similar episode for Indian states and cities. So here we are with a part 2 of Origin of Name Places. Hello, my name is Savant.
Hello. My name is Ronnie. Welcome to another episode of Surface Scratchers.
Hey, now you are ripping off the Pakistani YouTube reactor.
I'm ripping you off, my favorite podcaster. No, I'm really looking forward to this episode. This is the kind of stuff that I think resonates quite well with our listeners because even I'd gotten a lot of good feedback about the country names.
At TIL, I learned that the study of the names of places is called toponymy.
Oh, nice. I've just heard of
So,
etymology, which is just the origin of words, is it?
yeah, that's just the origin of words. Toponymy is the etymology of places.
Okay. Hey, then we should title this episode a toponymy episode
Yeah, we're toponymists today.
today for the next half an hour or so.
Cool. So, today's episode, we will be discussing the origins of places in India. So, how we'll do this largely is I have picked north and west, Ronnie's picked south and east of India. We'll go and give you some stories of the origin of state names, and then we'll graduate to some famous city and town names. So that's how this episode is going to be structured. I am going to step right in, Ronnie, and start with the state
Uh huh.
segments, the north and western states of India. So what's great is in most of these Indian states, especially in north and west, the name is pretty much a literal meaning of what the word is. So for example, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, in case you want to go to a khand which is north of Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand. Even Jharkhand literally means jhad, which is forest, and khand, which is area. So Jharkhand is like the
Oh,
land of forests. It's also called Vananchal. Then there's Himachal
okay.
Pradesh. Him means snow in Sanskrit, and Achal means
Mm-hmm.
mountain or in the laps of the mountain. So Himachal Pradesh is the Pradesh where you are in the laps of the Himalayas. So most of these are
Nice.
very literal meanings of geographically where they are or what they have, which is not very creative, unfortunately. It's not like Portugal, which is port. But there are some interesting ones. So let's start with one of my favorite, which is the state of Punjab. So the Punjab in the Sanskrit times, ancient Hindu times, was called Panchanada, which means 5 rivers. And then when the Islamic rule came to north of India, there was a lot of Turco-Persian conquerors who influenced the naming as well, and then they changed the name to Punjab, where Panj again means 5 and Ab means water. So it means the land of 5 waters, which is basically the rivers Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj, and Bias, which are all obviously tributaries of
Mm-hmm.
Indus River, which gives India its name, Satluj being the largest. Very interestingly, Ronnie, Punjab in Greek, when Alexander was, approaching India, he referred to Punjab
Mm-hmm.
as Pentopotamia, which is literally
Oh, nice.
five.
Land of Fire Rivers.
Yeah. So Punjab gets its name from the land of 5 rivers. Haryana also is split into Hari and Ayana. Hari is obviously Lord Vishnu or God in general, and Ayana is like home. So it's like the nice home of God. Uh, One
Mm-hmm.
of the articles that I read actually said that it's derived from Hari and Anna. So God, please come here.
Someone was playing. What's that game we play? Wrong answers
No, wrong answers
only
only.
with Haryana.
Yeah. So then Bihar. If you have any Bihari friends, Ron, you know it's very Bihari to usually shuffle the syllables "ver" and "b." So Bihar actually
Mm.
derives from the Pali word which is Vihara, which means abode or
Okay.
the home of knowledge. So if you know a little bit about Bihar, it has a huge Buddhist history. So there are a lot of Buddhist viharas which are
Correct.
abodes of Buddhist monks. That's where Bihar gets its name. I find that beautiful.
Right.
Like, what a beautiful name for a province, right?
Nice.
Goa derives its name. I mean, Goa is a Portuguesed version of Gomanta or Gomanchala. Or Gau, if you know, in most Devanagari languages, refers to cow. So it was the land of the cow herds, and that's how Gomanta or Gomanchala came into place, which was then shortened for Goa. Maharashtra is literally great land, Maha and Rashtra. Rajasthan is literally the Sthan
Mm-hmm.
of Rajas. It used to be called Rajputana,
Mm-hmm.
interestingly, because it was a land of Rajputs. Another similar derived land of Dash is Gujarat. So I think in the 8th or 9th century, Gujarat was ruled by the Gurjars, and that's where Gujarat.
Okay. Okay.
Now the Gurjars then moved kind of north from Gujarat, but Gujarat still kept its name. What about South
Very
India, man?
nice.
There's got to be better stories than Madhya Pradesh in South India.
No, I think South India is pretty normal only. The Northeast is pretty good. So, like how you had Himachal for uh, the land of snowy mountains,
Mountains.
uh, Arunachal is also somewhat similar. Aruna is the light from the dawn sun.
Wow. It's so much cooler than just Hima. So land of the rising sun of
Dawn lit mountains, dawn mountain light sun
wow.
land is Arunachal Pradesh. Assam was there's a tribe or something in Assam called the Ahom tribe,
Mhm.
or I think they were a bunch of rulers also back in the day. So Ahom became Assam.
I have a wrong answers input here for Assam.
Please,
The
please.
British came there and went like, "Oh my god, this place is gorgeous. This place is just."
Assam.
Sorry guys, this will be the last one, I promise.
Since we're here in Assam, there's a place in Assam called
Hmm.
Digboy where I
Oil
think some
refinery. Yeah.
oil was found. Yeah, that apparently got its name from big British officers asking
Do you dig,
their
boy? No way.
Indian labor.
Really?
No, to dig the ground apparently. Dig boy. I don't know if this is also a wrong answer. It's only research that someone did, but I've read this somewhere.
Wow, nice, nice. Since we're doing wrong answers, one more. Since dig boy is when the British asked, "Do you dig, boy?" You know what the capital of Assam is?
Is it Guwahati?
It's not Guwahati.
In
It's
Dispur, yes.
it's
Sorry.
Dispur. The British reached there. Are we in Dispur? And you will know in my spiel later on that Pur means city. But yeah,
All right,
Assam
since
is
you've
full of
already
wrong answers.
Assam is full of wrong answers. Yes, I'm going to take away your Pur. Manipur is the land of money or the city of money. Money in Sanskrit is also jewels. So, land of jewels, which also in English happens to be
Money
money. Yes,
ish.
ish. Meghalaya is very straightforward. The Alaya of Megha, which is the abode of clouds. Mizoram is me in Mizoram is people, Zo is Highlander people, so Mizoram is people of the
Oh,
Highlands.
nice.
Nagaland gets its name from the Naga people that live there as well. So the Northeast is pretty cool. Sikkim is also new palace. Su is new, Kim is palace, so
Lovely.
Sukkim is that. Odisha gets its name from the Sanskrit word apparently, which is Odra Vishaya or Odra Desa, which refers to the Odra people living
Odra
in
people. Hmm.
that part of the country. Uh, Coming to proper South India, Tamil Nadu is the easiest to get uh, done with. The land of the Tamils is Tamil Nadu. Karnataka, and I did know this earlier. Karnataka has a lot of Karnataka is the Deccan Plateau, which is at a pretty high elevation,
Yeah.
1,000 meters or so. I think Bangalore is at, and Karu means high or lofty. Nad is land. So high land again,
Oh,
similar to
nice.
Mizoram. Yeah, similar to Mizoram, Karnataka. Although Karnataka talks about the land, Mizoram talks about the people. Uh, Telangana apparently, I had very shady research over here, says it is three Langa that gave origin to Telangana.
Oh, it's
Langa is
not
the
like
link.
the land of the Telugu people.
I don't know. This
Like
is
I
that's
would
why I said
think
it's
it's that.
shady research. Maybe that, yeah.
Nice.
Andhras were a people, in ancient times also. there are mentions of Andhras, etc., and in the Mauryan court. So Andhra Pradesh is the land of the Andhras. Lastly, amongst the ones that I've got, I'm coming to Kerala. Kerala also, again, in Ashoka's edicts, the rock edicts and all of that, there is a
Mm-hmm.
mention of uh, the kings who ruled Kerala, the Cheras at that time. They were called the Kedala Putto. Kedala Putto, which
Mm-hmm.
in Sanskrit would be Kerala Putra. So Kerala, in that way, did exist way back then as well.
Oh, nice.
So I would even think that, of the states that exist today in India, Kerala probably has the oldest state name. So
But it
apart,
wasn't called Kerala for the longest time, right? It
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
Kerala after the
After Travancore and Cochin.
Travancore.
So how did this Kerala also come across? So it's probably from the Chera kings as well. So Chera Alam, the land of the Cheras, could be Kerala, and that became Kerala.
Mm-hmm.
Another theory is that Kera is coconut, and
Ah, that
because
explains it. Yeah.
Malayalis use coconut and coconut oil in literally everything, the land of coconuts also could be Kerala, but I personally think it could be the Chera kings that lent its name to this.
Cool. Let's move on to more meaningful stuff, guys, and let's touch upon the origins of, or the toponymy, if I may, of cities and towns in India. So I again will pick up some things in North and West India. Interestingly, if you look, Ronnie, at all the city, town, village names, they can be attributed to three times or three, you know, historical phases that the country's witnessed. So one is influenced by ancient India culture, okay, like medieval times, and also really influenced by the Ramayana. So a lot of the cities and towns and villages, before the 1200s also, when the most frequently spoken languages were Sanskrit and Prakrit, Pali, and all these derivatives, you would find the suffix pur, which means settlement. Uh, so you'll have like hundreds and thousands of cities. So Jaipur, Jodhpur, Udaipur, Sitapur, Hoshiarpur, Kolhapur, and it goes even to South India. So Puram is an extension of that, or Por, like Pore, or Puri, or Pura. All of them derive from what the Sanskrit word for settlement is. Very interesting article that the Indian Express once wrote, and I found it in their archives back in 2011. I think the article was that they went through the names of 7 lakh villages in India. Okay, villages, towns, etc.
Hmm.
And they found how many are linked to the Ramayana.
Hmm.
Okay, so Lord Ram obviously ranks way up at 3,626 villages named after him. So Rampur, Ramgarh, or such derivatives. Almost all parts of the country. So Lord Krishna is a close second at 3,309. Okay.
Hmm.
What is really sad is down the bottom from names derived from the Ramayana is Sita.
Hmm.
Only 75 village slash towns are derived from the goddess, that is Sita.
Ouch.
So Hanuman has some 300 plus villages, as does Lakshman.
Hmm.
Lakshman's given the name most popularly to Lucknow, which was called Lakhanpur back
Okay.
in the day. So yeah, uh, would have liked a little more gender representation in the namings of the place as well, but this is what mythology is. Some other Hindu or ancient Indian derivatives or suffixes, all your kots and kotla and durg stand for fort or fortification. So Raj Kot, Sial Kot, Dharm Kot, even Koi Kot, I guess so, not sure. Uh, mean
It does,
fortification.
yes.
Gad means a hub or a fort. So Chandigarh, Ramgarh, Aligarh, Lohagarh. Path or Prastha means level ground. So Sonipat, Panipat, they usually will take the name and then end it with Path. Nath refers to a Hindu deity, you may be aware. So Amarnath, Badrinath, Kedarnath. And finally, Ishwar, which is God in Sanskrit. So
Hmm.
Rameshwaram, Bhubaneswar, Bageshwar, Ankaleshwar, Mahabaleshwar are all
Right.
derived from that. Anyway, so next segment is the names derived from Islamic rule, and there are a bunch of them, right? So this was between maybe 1100s to 1700s, where Islamic rulers were very dominant in North India. We had the Mughals, the Tughlaqs, the Khaljis, the Mamluks, the Lodhis, and so on and so forth. So a lot of the towns that were created or transformed, a lot of them were transformed, unfortunately, came to reflect like Arabic and Persian and Turkic origins. So
Hmm.
Abad, for example, is a Persian word which means a populace or an area where people are cultivating.
Okay.
So a lot of the cities, even in Persia or Iran, have this suffix of Abad. So Don, what I'll do is I will name a lot of these North Indian cities that end with Abad. Tell me who, and it's usually name Abad. So Roni Abad and Savant Abad, if at all. Okay, so Tughlaqabad, start easy.
Ghiazuddin Tughlaq.
And then Firozabad,
Firozabad is I think, a minister or someone in Akbar's court. Firoz Shah
oh,
Mansabdar or something.
I didn't know that. So great. This one's easy. Shah Jahanabad. I'm going to move on to the next
Shah
one.
Jahan.
Allahabad,
Named after Allah, right? Yes.
maybe. Moradabad,
Muradabad is named after Shah Jahan's youngest son, Murad Baksh.
Aurangabad, easy.
Aurangzeb.
Daulatabad.
Daulat is wealth, but was there someone named Daulata something? I don't know. We'll just call it wealth.
Okay.
Wealth town.
And last one, Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad was named after Ahmad Shah the First, one of the Gujarat Sultanate's emperors.
Lovely.
Apart
10
from
out of 10.
apart from that, uh, Akbarabad was once what Agra was called for a very short time. I think during his lifetime or soon after his.
Some more Islamic influences on the name. So, Fateh means victory in Arabic.
Mhm.
So, Fatehpur Sikri was built by Akbar, as we know. Hisar is an Arabic word for citadel.
Okay.
Lovely word, right?
Yeah.
So, the town of Hisar in the state of Haryana was named Hisar-e-Firoza originally.
Mhm.
And a lot of UP cities have the suffix sheher, which means town in Persian. So, Bulandshahr, for example.
Yes.
Some more data. There are several villages named after Mughal emperors. So Akbar tops that list with 234
Oh
villages.
wow.
So it may either be Akbarpur or Akbarabad or Akbar Sarai or so on and so forth. His grandfather Babar had 62 villages.
Hmm.
Humayun only has 30, sadly, and Aurangzeb has 8.
Okay.
Moving to my last and favorite segment is the British rule. Two types of names that the British did give, Ronnie. One is obviously the concept of hill stations came with the British, right? So they would spend their summers because they couldn't deal with the 30, 40 degrees heat. So they went to, slightly places with higher altitude. So Shimla was their summer capital, was derived from Shamla Devi. But a lot of the other hill stations like Mussoorie, Lansdowne, Lander, Dalhousie, Darjeeling, Wellington, McLeodganj, Murray, and Abbottabad in Pakistan. A lot of them were named after British
Mhm.
generals, which I find very interesting. The second type of influence they had is they took, lieutenant generals or really governors and so on, and then they attached all the Indian suffixes like abads
Huh.
and ganges and purs, and then they came up with a combination of two. So Lyalpur, for example, which is now called Faisalabad in Pakistan, was named after the Lieutenant Governor of Punjab, Sir Charles James Lyall.
Nice.
McLeodganj in India was named after Sir Donald McLeod, who was another Lieutenant Governor of Punjab. Then in UP, especially, you'll find these small towns. Okay, Michaelganj, Robertsganj, Forbesganj.
McCluskey Ganj. I think that's in
Does
Bihar
that
though.
exist?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So, I like I like these names where they kind of respected Abad and Ganj and Purs of the locals, and then just add. So that's it from North and West India. I'm excited to see what you have for South India.
I don't have nearly as many conceptual things that you've really helped our listeners with whenever they hear a city's name. Now you essentially what you've done is broken it into two parts, explained what the second half is, and the listeners will be able to figure out what the first half is. I've just looked at a few big cities in South India and tried to figure out what their origin stories are. So I'll start with where I live now, Bangalore.
Mhm.
Bangalore, the most popular origin story, what is it called? Toponymy of Bangalore is apparently some Hoysala king in the
Mhm.
1100s or something got lost in the forest, uh, got separated from his hunting troop or whatever, and ended up at this old lady's hut, hungry and famished and tired and all of that. and this old lady fed him boiled beans. And he named that area where the old lady's hut was the land of boiled beans, which is Benda Kalu Uru. So Benda is
No
boiled,
way.
Kalu is beans, Uru is the town or the area. That's a popular this one, but I don't think that's the original one because even before that there were references to Bengaluru in rock inscriptions, etc., in the 800s, the ninth century essentially. And the theory is that it came from Bengavaluru. Bengaval, I think, is guards or soldiers or something. So the city of guards or soldiers is how Bangalore gets its name.
Hmm.
And now it's called Bengaluru. The Uru is town. Similarly, you have other cities like Mangalore, which is now called Mangaluru.
Mangaluru.
Mangaluru gets its name after the deity Mangala Devi, who's in a
Okay.
temple in Mangalore. So Mangaluru is that. Kunur, which is in a hill station in Tamil Nadu, also is
Hmm.
Ur, similar to this, but not from the same language, obviously. Kunnu is a hilly or a mountainous area in the local language.
Quite literal then.
Yeah, and also in Malayalam. So Kunnu is a hill, peak, mountain type thing. So Uru, Bengaluru, Mangaluru gets its name like that. Moving on to Chennai. So
Hmm.
Chennai apparently gets its name from this Telugu ruler, someone called Damarla Mudirasa Chennappa Nayakudu,
Hmm.
who was a general in the Vijayanagar Empire, and his Chennappa part of his name probably lent its name to Chennai. And the first official name use of the name Chennai dates back to 1639,
Hmm.
where someone from the East India Company, got some land or something. There's also a Chennakesava Perumal temple that is there in Chennai, and there are theories that this Chennakesava temple
Hmm.
lent its name to Chennai, but this sale deed predates the construction of this temple. So it's probably from this Mudirasa Chennappa Nayakudu, the Vijayanagar general, that the city gets its name.
Lovely.
Very interestingly, this this general is a Telugu guy.
Ah,
So the
exactly.
Chennai, so Chennai is named after a Telugu guy right now, if this theory is true. But there's always been a place called Madrasapattanam,
Ah,
which is a small fishing village, just I think a little north of the first British settlement called Fort St. George, where
okay.
that statue of Cornwallis taking
Yes,
Tipu's
yes.
sons hostage, etc., is there.
All back.
Madrasapattanam was always the name of one locality near Chennai, and perhaps a better name to name name the city, considering that it's a more local name than some general from another state.
Nice.
Moving on to Hyderabad. Hyderabad was founded by the Qutub Shah emperors, the Qutub Shah kings. There are two theories to this. One is, so these guys were Shia Muslims, huh?
Okay.
and and they hence consider the Prophet's nephew Ali
Ali,
the rightful heir to the caliphate or
Prophet.
whatever after the death of the Prophet. So Ali was also called the Lion because of his bravery in battle. Lion, I think, is Hyder. So Hyderabad is Lion City,
Oh, nice.
named in respect of Ali, the Prophet's nephew. So that's one theory. The other theory is the founder of Hyderabad, Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah, named it after a dancing girl that he married. So there was this lady called
Heather.
no. So there's a lady called Bhagmati, who I guess was not Muslim. She converted to Islam and renamed herself as Hyder Mahal.
Okay, nice.
And perhaps there's a theory that Hyderabad took its name from this lady that Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah married. So we'll stick to that theory and then increase our cities named after women count by one.
Yes. Hey, what about Sikandarabad? Is it
Very good. Yeah. So Sikandarabad was named after Sikandar Jah, one of the Nizams of Hyderabad after
okay?
Mughal rule and all of. Moving on, Tiruvananthapuram is named after the local deity or
Mm-hmm.
There is a Padmanabha Swami temple located in Trivandrum. So Tiruvananthapuram is named after this guy, the city of Lord Ananta. Last but not the least, I've got Kolkata to represent East India as well.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite theory of this is some English merchant who was traveling around Kolkata asked a villager that he saw where he was, like what do you call this area, and the villager, the farmer, was cutting his harvest or making hay bales or something of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
So the farmer assumed that the Englishman was asking him, when did you harvest this? So he replied in Bengali, kal kata hoyechilo. So
Okay.
kal kata meaning
No
so
way.
so he thought it was Calcutta. And this is probably some seventh standard primary school theory of this.
Yeah.
Uh, but there are references in the Aini Akbari, which is Akbar's biography,
Mm-hmm.
calling this area Kolikata. So it could be from Kali Kshetra, place of the goddess Kali.
Kali. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah. Uh, it could also get its name from the Kali Ghat locality in along the Hooghly River over there. So that's all I've got, bro.
So that brings us to the end of this toponymy episode. We can do a lot more in this if you guys like this one as well. So, Sushil, our avid listener, if you're out there and if you want more, do drop in a mail to surfacescratchers@gmail.com and we'll see what's the best we can do. Until next time, it's Ron and I signing off. So, bye.